Greetings and welcome back to SwitchedtoLinux. It's another Friday news program. Man, there's just so many news things going on. I tried to cut the news back, but it might be a long show. I think that's all right because TOS is coming on in like 2 hours. So I got like 2 hours. Then we can go over and raid Total OS today's stream if we want. That'd be fun. But anyway, let's see who is in the chat for now. Let's see, where's my comments going out over there? Oh, all the way to the top, all the way to the top. Nothing to see, nothing to see. All right, Mr. Haddix, hello there. Noah, greetings. It's a new picture, Noah, greetings. Q1 Fiend, how's it going there? Libre Secure, hello all. Maybe some positive news. Yes, I think that's the article. I do have one positive news article today. You got to stick to the end, and I think that one's it. Joe Johnson, hello there. And Carbon Programmer, hello. FCC should be eliminated. All they do is interfere with communications. No, they don't. They do a lot more than interfere with the communications. They position the big companies to be in charge of it all. Come on. That's what their role is. Let's see. Bad feeling about this. And they can't stop robocalls. That's right. That's right. Okay. Just finished watching Dr. Strangelove. Good time for tinfoil hat time. Tinfoil hat time will be tomorrow, roughly between 12 and 1, depending on what time I wake up in the morning. But there will be a tinfoil hat time tomorrow, and we'll be talking about smart attachments, smart clothing mostly. What Facebook wants to do? Satire about nuclear apocalypse? What satire? Not the one where Slim Pickens rides a bomb. Okay, care less what Facebook does. If anyone is that stupid to use Facebook, they deserve whatever Facebook's gonna tell them to do. I might have to partially agree with that. I mean, the problem is, though, is it's not just do you use Facebook or not, because if you don't take extra steps to block Facebook from your system, then yeah, they're still tracking you. You have to work pretty hard. In fact, I'm looking at another company. I'm not going to disclose anything on that yet, but I saw some suspicious activity on an account I have, and I want to see if see what's going on with that. Keegan the Tennessean, greetings. You look like you changed your picture too. I don't know. Can only yell if you're yelling hee-haw. There you go. Who speaks Hindi? Not I. Hello, World of Linux. Hello, currently updating Windows 10 because one of my family members needs Windows 10 for work. Because remember on that last stream when you talked about governments and business needing? Yep. Used to be a mod for the original Unreal tournament that allowed you to ride rockets around the map. Nice. Alan Blake, hello there. You wouldn't think anyone would be fooled by Facebook anymore, but yeah, big but. And some of the latest news, I kind of kicked it off of my feed, mostly because the original source material had to come from Facebook, and my network can't access Facebook for that reason. But their head of security is leaving. To save money, they're not replacing the head of security. Lord help us all. So that'll be in the security updates within a couple of months, I'm pretty sure, you know. An Explorer. Well, that's one of those cases. Yep. Yeah, they're always starting without me. That's all good. That's all right. I like rigidly timed. I was a professor, you know. You just didn't. You started the class on time. You ended the class on time. Fortunately, there's really no time limit when I have to end these. But, you know, I generally, if I say I'm starting at 9, I start at 9 because I'm assuming that there's some people that realize that and either set a timer or recognize the time and want to come over. And I don't want to start, you know, early for that reason. All right. Facebook lost a lot of money recently. Good. Yeah. Spies Facebook because of how far they will go to collect data on everyone. Emphasis on everyone. We see everything. Too bad I can't turn my head all the way around like Woody right now. Hey, good thing about Linux, you can install a lot of different language packs. Yes. If Facebook only tracked their users, I would not care, but they're also tracking non-users. Yes, correct. YouTube asked me to answer a question before a video. How old are you? Like I'd tell them anything personal. Yeah. 5. I'm 5, man. Deal with it. Oh, Kitty woke up. You have a good nap? Was that a good nap? Was it? Yeah. Kitty had a good nap. All right, buddy. There you go. All right. Using the pods. What? Just don't press my keyboard keys and you can lay on the desk, all right? All right. Firefox has a Facebook container add-on that's supposed to contain Facebook and prevent it from tracking users outside of Facebook. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how effective it is. Position. The kitty is in position. That's right. Need a good set up a good host file to stop them. Yep, that's what I do. Phones make it hard to edit the host file, especially if you get it from a carrier. Yep, that's why I get my cell phones as unlockable cell phones, so I can make those adjustments myself. Hello, Daniel. I sent you an email. Did you get it? Grow up, I want to be an underwater basket weaver. Yeah, I'll check my old college catalog, see if it was in there. Right. I don't know why I'm watching this at 0:58, but I'm gonna watch a stream because I want to watch the stream. There you go, Red Hot. Welcome. Hopefully I will keep it interesting for you. But Harvard on Yadkin had that class. Now it's underwater server farm building. There you go. Yeah. Well, that's what Microsoft does. Buries their servers in the ocean. Okay. Greetings, Emerald 2. Actually here in time for a live stream. Well, welcome. How's it going there? All right. It is time. It is time. Give me a chance to grab the popcorn. All right, man. Welcome. Pizza, pizza. Everyone say pizza, pizza. All right. Good evening, James Miller. How are you? Oh, boy. Comments are going. Does CJ respond to woof woof? Not really. He's just gonna look at me funny. Woof woof. He's like, just keep petting me. I don't care if you bark all you want. He's tired. What did you do to him? Yeah, I don't know. Not much. He's just sleeping here, sleeping there, sleeping everywhere. He said I was griping popcorn. That was a bad joke. Well, you should be grabbing some pizza. Mr. GFY, how's it going there? Frost Ranger of the Frozen Realm. Yes, the kitty is a cute kitty. Steven Anderson. Good evening, Mr. Anderson. Need a picture beside the stupid D. All right. Edited the pic. Is chili powder good on popcorn? Chili powder alone is pretty it's pretty bitter, so it's actually not the best. If you want to do something kind of like that, two fascinating things to put on it is taco seasoning. Which you can grab the taco seasoning mix that I have. It's a homemade taco seasoning mix. It's on my home cooking hacks channel under the tacos. You can make that mix there. That's really good on popcorn, and also Cajun seasoning is really good on popcorn, which I have a recipe for that, but I've not done a video on it. But yeah, actually that's pretty good. Took it at a park. Very cool. Very cool. Toss is good for keeping us up all night. Yep. FCC interferes with TV signals going to my antenna. Favorite distro site is down. Hope everything's okay. Repos are still up. I don't know. Learned how to use OBS. Very good, man. I will try and catch one of your streams and see how you work with it. Okay. What's up, Horace? How's it going there? Debian Shark and Parrot fan. Very good. Very good. All right. Okay. Whoa. Tom is 5 years old online. I did not know you were Chris Hansen. Yeah, you know. Yesterday, I was at Target, and my brother went to the electronics section and played is it Despica? I don't know. On one of the tablets at full blast in front of an employee who's friends with my dad. Nice. There you go. See, I can't ask Alexa to say that because I can't. Is it Despicito? I don't know. But hey, Alexa came up, so we are obligated to say it. Alexa, order unicorn meat. All right, pizza. Mark Yates, how's it going there? Want to put servers on their oceans? No, they already did put servers on their oceans. Microsoft sunk an underwater data center. They sunk it off the coast of, I don't know, like off the coast of Africa or something. Somebody who had less stringent pollution policies than we have here in the great old US of A, because that's what companies do. Rape the whole earth. Figure out who doesn't have the policy protections in place and go rape the landscape. Rape the landscape. May I quote from George Carlin, "Oh, beautiful, for smoggy skies, insecticided grains, for strip mine powers, majesties across the asphalt plains. America, America, man sheds his waste on thee and hides the pines with billboard signs from sea to oily sea. Welcome to America." Of course, we now have rules against a lot of that, so big companies do this stuff in China and other places that don't care about poisoning the world along the way. All right. So, Sold Manjaro with Black Arch, very good. Yes, got the email. Started playing with an hour ago, and pizza. Curry powder on popcorn. No, that might not be bad. Yeah, I do. Actually, my favorite thing on popcorn is actually just finely ground salt and pepper, actually. Just salt and pepper on popcorn with butter. Very good. Got out of the shower, but all good. Confidence. Really God stream. Good stream, I think. I don't know. Time for hard work and dedication. Yeah, I just got these finished. The articles wrapped up like 10 minutes ago. I wasn't quite sure. You put Cajun spice on your popcorn. It's disgusting. Too spicy. Well, I thought you were liking spicy because you went with the chili powder. Don't hate Microsoft, I just hate Windows. I actually like their software. VS Code, WordPad, even programming languages. But Windows sucks since Bill Gates left. It has. Does your chemistry background come in handy for recipes you create, or is it more experimentation? Recipes, generally more about experimentation. I'll put a lot of chemistry into my cooking, but... Alright. View video ideas. This one in the script. Let's see. Content is in the works, but I botched my partitions again. Uh-oh. Ordering unicorn meat. There you go. Despicado? Okay. Trouble getting Thunderbird to pop up. Thunderbird. All right, I have hit the bottom of the comments, so that means we are about ready to go. I probably should have stopped that earlier and actually launched into the news. I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump on into the first portion of the news. I'm going to try logging my times today, make it easier to figure out where we are. So let's go ahead and jump on in. And today we're going to start off with our privacy news. So, privacy news, thinking of Windows 10, of course, we've been talking about this, how Windows 10 is just trying to collect every bit of data. Well, now they have their app figured out a little bit better so that it can basically mirror any of your phone content to your PC. Yay! This is awesome. Now, on top of the cellular carrier and either Google or Apple knowing everything that you're doing, and every other app installed knowing everything that you're doing, now Windows is going to know everything that you're doing on your smartphone as well. Isn't this totally awesome? The idea, of course, you can, whatever's going on your phone will be able to sync back with your computer, and it's supposed to all help things go back and forth between them, but I don't know. I don't know what the reason for this is. I mean, what's the useful function? I mean, I guess if you're completely distracted, watching a YouTube video on my phone, you get within vicinity of the computer, it automatically goes from here to your screen, so you can just go, then I think that in that case it might serve some benefit. But people, can we have some degree of separation between the things that we're doing, really? Oh, we talked about this Amazon thing in the past. Basically Amazon's trying to get our kids addicted to their services, the Alexa and all the other things. So they had this thing before, which ended up costing, I think it used to cost like $4 a month. Basically, it's like an Amazon story time. So instead of you sitting down with your kid at night, you tuck him into bed, you read him a nice bedtime story. Now Alexa handles all that. So, Dad and his poor storytelling skills will not interfere with the child's perfect example of all of these little short stories appropriate for readers of 5 to 12 years old on a data collecting app on either a smart speaker or a phone. Can Congress please wake up and say, hey guys, we have this thing called COPA. I know. Us foolish parents who don't read the terms of service are agreeing to opt out of COPA for our children. But maybe the government should actually think about stepping in. Maybe I'm putting too much faith in the government. I don't know. But anyway, this is now a free service, so now everybody can use Amazon Rapids, turning screen time into reading time. Each story experience. Ooh, it's a story experience, yo. The story experience is designed to make reading fun. Build your reader's confidence. Spark the imagination. Because the thing has the ability to sit there and as you read along with it. Guys, this is technology. It goes into the lowest. It's like pouring water down. I mean, wasn't there a toy that was kind of like this? Like pouring water down a hill. Whatever the path of least resistance is, least resistance is to let the device do it all for you. This is not going to help your children learn. It's not going to help your children have any imagination, because all of this stuff sucks the life and the imagination out of our kids and makes screen and electronics addicted young children at the age of 5. Really? Of course, the thing's going to know how old your kid is and age with your child, so Amazon's going to be able to collect all this data. Of course, full disclosure, I do use Amazon a lot. I shopped there the other day. I do have an Amazon link. I'm not saying this stuff is... I'm saying this is bad. I'm not saying Amazon itself is completely bad, although, I don't know. Full disclosure, use the Amazon link. I don't know. But anyway, we have a parent dashboard. Oh, juice, age 12 and over. Boy, so you can basically program in, favorite genre, funny. You think? You don't think drama or life skills or something like deep emotional and learning is going to appeal to a 12-year-old? No, that's why these kids like Logan Paul. Not that necessarily he's funny, but I guess brainless idiocy stands for something, right? All right. So, of course, they have the built-in glossary. Ooh, what does dressed mean? To wear clothes. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. Yeah. I'll go there another time. Oh, Lord. So, yeah, that's Amazon. They're like, not enough people got this. We're not grabbing nearly enough data. Let's just make it free. The data's valuable. Oh, boy. This came up. I kind of wanted to talk about this. I just didn't know when it was then, but I decided to go ahead and talk about it here and talk about it in privacy section. And the reason is, of course, there was the issue with, is it Gunn? What's his first name? Was it Jeffrey? Whoever it is. Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy guy. I don't know. He was fired because somebody dug up tweets that he did. They were certainly bad and fairly vulgar tweets. Tweets and treats. I don't know. Trick or tweet. I don't know. So they dug these things up from over a decade ago. And then they all fire him. Everyone's like, yeah, get him out. He's a sexist. He's a racist. Well, the same thing happened to this other woman just this week, Sarah Jeong, who is not a white male. And all this stuff happened. They came up with something bad in the past. So all this criticism came out. And now all of these journal articles were standing by. These were out of context things from 10 years ago. Once again, the white males are under assault here in America. I might just go change my gender for the sake of it. I don't know. But anyway, basically, this reporter had a decade ago a lot of very bad tweets. Of course, notice here, this article here, there's nothing there. They don't even really talk about the other case, which is more relevant. So it's like, what do you want? Do you want to fire all these guys because of the tweets from 10 years ago? Or, oh, it's just 10 years ago. Pick a side, buddy. Pick a side. It can't be the middle. You're either going to be obsessed and you're going to treat the white guy the same way as the non-white girl, or you're going to reek of sheer hypocrisy. Now, why is this under privacy? The deeper issue. I don't want to comment on all the rest of that stuff. I want to say the deeper issue. Both of these cases and numerous other ones like it are from tweets, that is social media, going back 10 years ago. Carbon Programmer is right. The things you do on social media now as a foolish, ignorant fool are going to come back and bite you. And I don't care who you are a lot smarter 10 years from now than you are right now. Okay, that's really the thing. Be careful with this social media. You are writing foolishness on the internet with ink in front of the world to see publicly. And you don't know what opportunities are going to be down the road. It's better to just not be on it. It's better to not be on it. Okay, that's kind of the thing that we're talking about. So that's why I put it under privacy. Be very, very careful with all of this stuff. You're right. I did forget to change the banner on that. Thank you. Let me do a quick pause right there and move that banner over. Okay. I think the reason is because I changed to a system where I use the same banner over and over and over. Like I use the same banner in 3 different places, and I'm not used to that yet. I kind of changed the way I'm doing my banners before. Okay. Let's delete that. Delete that. There we are. And let's go ahead and do the other ones too before I forget. Do-do-do-do-do. Yeah? No? Come on, dude. Thank you. And delete those. One more. My apologies to everybody who is like, what's up with that title? All right, that should be fixed. All right, so that's kind of my point: is be careful with the with social media. All right, now for those of you who don't realize this, Google Maps changed their system a while back that you can basically share your location services with all your different friends out there. So now the Google Maps location sharing, really, I don't really want that crap, Android, please. I want to read the headline, not your menu. All right, so the Google Maps location now shows your contact's battery level? Yeah, this is really put in there. It's put in there by some parent at Google. They're like, I'm sick of my kid telling me that he whatever. So now the kid walks around with his smartphone in there where the parents can see where they're at and exactly where they're at, and they can even see when the battery's running low, so you know your kid's telling you the truth if they say the battery actually died. Oh no, the battery died, dude. Yeah. It was. I wasn't putting it in the potato chip bag to play golf out on the field. You know, in a little Faraday box. This is just funny. Just think of it. Okay, so Rachel Whitman apparently is 5.3 miles away, and the battery power is at 75%. Why? Of all of the things you'd want to share, I'm baffled. Why do they feel compelled to say battery? Like your battery's running low, sharing that data. But it just begs the question, if they can write this API to share and collect all this type of data, link it in with the maps, realize they can do anything? What else are they sharing without realizing they're sharing? Sharing, not with you, but with everybody. Fascinating question. On to our title article, Facebook teaching data literacy. So Facebook launches a data literacy library to help young people use the internet responsibly. Excuse me, I need to mute the microphone for a moment. Pardon me, I'm okay now. So, yeah, Facebook wants to teach people how to use the internet responsibly. Love this article. We got to dig into this thing deep. Let's see what they're doing. There's no mention of fake news. More young people online than ever in our current age of misinformation, and Facebook is developing resources to help youths better navigate the internet in a positive and responsible way. In a partnership with Youth Media, a team at Berkman Klein Center for Internet and Society at Harvard University. Oh boy, it's happened fast. And The interactive lessons and videos can be downloaded for free, and they're meant to use in the classroom, in after-school programs, or at home. Created for more than 10 years of academic research and, quote, built in consultation with teens. Hey, kid, sit down, watch this. The curriculum is divided into 5 themes. Privacy and reputation, identity exploration, positive behavior, security, and community engagement. Okay, every one of these areas, I was like, maybe security. Facebook has no business talking to. People, this is like getting the convicted child sex offender to teach your child alone about the birds and the bees. That's what this is like. Having Facebook try and teach kids what about responsible data use? Privacy and reputation? Really? Facebook wants to teach us how to have safe and secure privacy and reputation on the internet. Facebook doesn't care about your privacy and reputation on the internet. In fact, their entire business model is based on harvesting everything out of you, whether or not you want to give it, which is why they buy up data from companies like Equifax and hundreds of more of them to add to the profile to make sure that if you have not supplied them with information, they have the information anyway. Identity exploration. I'm not sure where they're going with that. I don't know if that means what's down there or if that means something else. I'm really not sure. But Facebook hasn't exactly been good on this run either. Positive behavior. Yes, the company who illegally, without a human rights review committee, subjected millions of Americans to psychological research to get people to figure out if they're good or if they're bad. We are trusting this company? This company? Positive behavior? Really? We're trusting this company for that? Security, I can say for the most part, they're fairly secure. I don't know of any major data hacks Facebook has had. Maybe they might be able to talk on that. They get a free pass on that one from me. Community engagement. Yeah, community engagement, whatever causes the most shock jock value is what Facebook encourages you to do. That is not exactly responsibility. It's not. It's not responsibility. So look at this. I mean, built-in consultation with the teens, talking about 5 general themes, 18 lessons in total, available in English, and they plan to add 45 more languages. God help us. Lessons to be divided into 3 different groups between 11 and 18. 11 and 18. Funny. I didn't even think 11-year-olds were allowed on Facebook, Congress. Are you listening? Should you go look into this? Anybody? Please. They cover everything from having healthy relationships online. Yeah, right. Healthy relationships online, shut off the Facebook. That's how to do it. That's how to do it. All right. Group activities include discussing scenarios like over texting to recognize phishing scams. Yeah. Digital literacy is part of Facebook's Safety Center, as well as a larger effort. I probably can't go to the that's right. I didn't go to that page because I can't. Their Safety Center, which is as well as a larger effort to provide digital literacy skill to nonprofits, small businesses, and community colleges. Yeah. Bravo, Facebook. Bravo, Facebook. Of course, right about here, I was going to talk about Facebook's chief security officers leaving, and they're not planning a replacement. But I cut that article out. I think we have one more under this, under the banner of privacy. Of course, I didn't actually cover the article. I didn't even hear about it until this week. I missed it in my looking, but apparently these big data, the DNA companies, started sharing all of the all this information with the pharmaceutical companies now. Realize, people, that the genetic data is that final last frontier. You got the genetic data. There is zero. Like, even your fingerprints, you can pull an old off the movie Sevens and burn your fingertips off with acid. There ain't no change in that DNA code. And now all these, may I say the word, fools who are updating all of their DNA data with all these big ancestry websites. Ooh, let's figure out who I'm related to. Ooh. Guys, you ain't going to change it. I don't really care if there's a king in my past. I'm a good old-fashioned American mutt from a bunch of alcoholic backgrounds, and I clawed my way out of poverty to get to where I am today, frankly. I don't care what's in the past. I know enough about what's in the past to know I don't want to repeat it. And I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to live in it. And I'm certainly not going to take my DNA and submit it to some third-party website that is merely a website, probably one run by one or two guys in somebody's basement with radical insecurity policies, all to figure out who else in the country might I be related to. I don't have good relationships with the people I am related to. For the love. For the love. So, one of these biggest companies went around and turned over all this data to one of the big pharmaceutical companies so they can start doing some genetic research. This is terrifying, people. This is terrifying. If you don't realize how terrifying this is, you need to stop and you need to research a whole lot about biogenetic engineering medications. They could literally program a medicine to make you lobotomized. This is crazy, and this is scary. So Ancestry, 23andMe, and some others say they're going to follow a series of privacy rules that came out because, of course, the biggest profile case that had occurred is that one of these little companies, the DNA that was submitted there led to tracking down that famous, totally unsolved serial killer case. And so this is like, ooh, now a lot of investigators, local investigators and things are submitting requests to all these DNA services just to get as much DNA as they possibly can, or submitting these DNA samples so they can figure out matches or whatever else. And so now these companies are coming in. These companies are coming in and they're saying, oh, we're going to set up some new guidelines so that we can have separate express consent before turning over individual data to businesses or other third parties, including insurers. Guess what, people? That's who ultimately is going to want to buy these things up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Insurance companies. They're scary. Insurance companies are scarier than you think. New commitments come roughly 3 months after local investigators used a track down to be the Golden State Killer. Of course, that's the article I was talking about. Investigators said they did not need a court order before using GED match, sparking fresh fears the user's biological data might be too easy to access. Maybe you should have thought about that before you submitted it to a website. Just a thought. Just a thought. Oh, what do you guys think? I think that's brings me to the end of my my privacy news. So let's go ahead and jump on back over to our comments and catch ourselves up and then see what's next. Alrighty. There we are. Like butter and basil on popcorn. Cool. I'll have to try that sometime. I did upload one newish I shot a while back. Not tech related, but I think my best video. Very cool. Very cool. Later. What? I like garlic powder and very small amount of butter. All right. Same thing as saying Apple was better when Steve Jobs was in charge. Yep. Always find myself running Mint Cinnamon no matter what distro I was using. Mint reminds me of Windows 7. Yeah. No, not does Pavito? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to check. Very good. All right. I've been thinking about learning some type of Celtic languages, Scottish, Gaelic, or German. Okay, there you go. You can already send tabs to your PC on Firefox. Yeah, but you see, Microsoft just doesn't get in on that data. Just a little, you know. They need in on that data. Hate Tim Cook, but I do respect him for not being a puppet of the government. I think he is still a puppet of the government. I think that Tim Cook's job is to stir up the controversy so Apple looks good, even though they know that it's not going to cause anything. But I don't know. That's my thought. Reason I'm not using Windows 10 right now is the last time I installed Windows 10, it asked me to connect my phone to my computer. Lord help us. You have a good FOSS language learning program. I wasn't a screen addicted child. I was a CRT. Never had any electronics at age 5 years. Yep. Spamazon is bad. There you go. Messed up. I commit to COPA even though I don't sell kids just for common decency. My privacy policy has it in it. Companies say are soulless money-making machines without standard morals. Yep. Honestly, for school, I use Quizlet paper in real life and LibreOffice Spotify for music. I was right. Yep, you were. Most people are smarter, not always. You'd be surprised. You can search the education section in Synaptic, just wondering if anyone has used a language learning app. Nope. Have you been having internet issues on Comcast? My internet went out 3 times today, and after the second time I rebooted the router and went through. I've not had any issues today. I didn't use the internet a ton today, but I didn't think I had any today. I know yesterday I had a little bit. Greetings, Anna Rita. How's it going there? Honestly, only use Instagram for friends. Not the best. Pro tip, don't start. If you are, take at least 3 months off every year. It's like social media is the new smoking, right? Uh-oh, Kitty's trying to type stuff. Jokes on this stream are funnier than usual. Uh-oh. Maybe it was something in the water today. I don't like I'm putting chemicals in the water that turn my jokes. Never mind. Give Facebook advice on how to come up with a better name for Facebook. Fox wants to watch the chickens. That's right. That's right. Gives surprise how many kids would take advice from Facebook. Yeah. I'll have to see if I can get in there and actually download and watch those videos. See, hacked into Facebook since resetting the password meant you were logged in a state. I don't know if they fixed it, but seriously. Privacy in Facebook is a contradiction in terms, yes. Quit Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat since I was in 9th grade. I like to further explore my identity as a monocle-wearing penguin. Just got a message. Sign into chat. Interesting. Yeah, Google's been messing with some things again. I can see it. No, I'm not going to watch your stream on my stream. This is the news channel, man. Alright. Dyslexia, will have to have that OCD and other better things, not as good. Over MySpace and all Twitter, your Yahoo and Google all over Facebook. Knew this DNA company has been shady the whole time. I mean, full genome should only be a couple gigabytes. Chump change in storage these days. Yep. Arrived, her friend's grandkids had Facebook accounts since 9. Yep. Evan, guess what? I made a Facebook account. Uh-oh. True Tom, who cares if I'm half Asian or Irish because I'm what I want to be, so deal with it. Okay, I knew they were collecting people's DNA for nefarious reasons. Yes. All right. Want to know who my ancestors are? I'll do my own research. Just recruit a Mormon. Go find a Mormon. They're ancestor experts. Except, of course, they run Ancestry.com and a few of the other ones. And they'll just have you submit all your stuff to their site now and make it easier for them. But I don't know. That's what I did, actually. When I want to do family history research, I actually recruited a Mormon. It's before all of the all these databases and stuff. Found out that I lucked out. I had like a 7th cousin or something that actually is heavily into it and does it as a hobby. I just like, can I borrow your notes? Yeah, here. All right, thanks. Have DNA research for dogs. Oh, God. Turn on, tune in, and drop out. No, Timothy Leary. Greetings, Kitson. How's it going there? People just jump in without researching or asking questions, but they really have no DNA stolen. They have no smart lock on their door. Yeah. What if you have DNA tests done and your DNA info gets sold and you make the wrong person mad and your DNA gets found at the scene of the crime? That is a very legitimate issue because it's very possible to do it. The old classic way is to take hair out of a hairbrush, you know. Last time I set up Windows 10, it tried to force me to use my broken fingerprint scanner. What is up with that? Yes, Arch is very hard to install. Know how to cipher. I know my Gazina's Kitty. What do you want to do? Do you want to be up here or down here? You're not laying on the keyboard. You're not laying on the keyboard. You can lay here, but you're not laying on the keyboard. Millennials think Friends is racist and homophobic show. Yeah, it was just... I mean, I never cared for it, but, you know, it's comedy of the day. That's the funny thing about a lot of that stuff. Databook or Logbook or Mindbook, I don't know, but they're quite similar with Facebook, yeah. Long-term goal of making a quantum computer decentralized internet, and I'm going to give stress balls for people going into Comcast store and selling my product when they come out. Imagine kids today with real ink, pen, a library, and having to rely on that. Oh, they couldn't do it. We were in the dark ages of education, but it was really good. OBS kept crashing in the stream. Do you like Opera web browser? Use it for testing published web pages I make. No. They do some weird browser injection things. Like they will inject their, like I know they inject their Amazon affiliate link in a web browser. So if you use Opera and you're planning on supporting another content creator by using their Amazon link, it's very possible Opera will scrub that out and put their own in place. I haven't tested that fully. That would be a neat test though. But I noticed that before when I was using it. I do not trust Opera since they were sold out to that other company 2 years ago. Occasionally reads books. Sad Error has a script to install Arch. Is it Archbang, I think? There's a few of them out there. Just do a search for Arch install scripts. Wish I wasn't associated with people of my age group. 30 in October, I remember when technology was merely a tool. I plan on having a 2-year-old and almost 1-year-old grew up being more dependent on their own brain. Remember you could own your own book? Yeah, I do. I do remember you could own your own book. In fact, it's funny. Talking to those book publishing guys. Never mind. I think that's a longer story for another stream. All right, we'll go ahead and pause it right there. We're going to jump into business news next. I got to close that article first. Verify my screen works, which it does. And let's see, what's my timestamp? Let's do 44:59 for business news. Just need approximates. All right, on to the business news. First in the docket, Comcast and Charter dominate the U.S. Telco, quote, abandoned rural America, report says. I don't know, man. I think this reporter stepped out of the time machine. Where have you been? This is nothing new here. This is not a report. This is fact reality. All right. So basically, Charter and Comcast already control. They actually gave some numbers down here. They say the market is broken. You think? You think the market is broken? So basically, Comcast is the only choice for 30 million Americans when it comes to broadband speeds of 25 Mbps. Charter Communication is the only choice for 38 million Americans, and combined, Comcast and Charter offer service in the majority of U.S. with almost no overlap. I think there might be 3 or 4 zip codes where they actually overlap. They have a backdoor deal with each other. They will not overlap. Many Americans are worse off living in areas where DSL is the best option. AT&T, Verizon, and other telcos still provide only sub-broadband speeds over copper wires throughout huge parts of their territories. Telcos have mostly avoided upgrading their copper networks to fiber, except in areas where they face competition from cable companies. Yeah, that's what we need. So Charter service territory covers 100 million people. That's probably an interactive map. I don't think we can read that. All right, so they say it's broken. 48 million households, about 122 million people subscribe to these cable companies, whereas the 4 largest telecom companies combined have far fewer subscribers, only 31%. The large telecom companies have largely abandoned rural America. Their DSL networks are overwhelmingly do not support broadband speeds. Yet despite years of federal subsidies and many state grant programs. And this is an important thing to recognize. They got their classifications they needed, and then these companies were literally handed millions of tax dollar money because they were supposed to expand out and make sure that everyone in America was connected. All they did is they took it, they turned around, they gave it to their CEOs as a bonus, and they never did anything about it because it's just not as profitable to run fiber lines way out in the middle of Timbuktu and then sit there and get the 8 people who live on that block to get your internet provider. Okay, so you need to understand that it's all about the money for what they're doing. The only place where it seems to where there's any competition or there's any good speeds at all are the places where there is any competition at all, which is so hard to do because they just don't allow it to happen. And so let's see, Comcast, the nation's biggest cable company and broadband provider, offers service to 100 million people in 39 states and Washington, D.C. All these people have access to broadband level through Comcast Xfinity, but about 30 million of these people have no other option for broadband service. Okay. Comcast's broadband subscribers include 25.5 million households, 64 million people based on the average U.S. population, 2.54. All right. I think there's something else I want to say as well. That's pretty much it, though. Yeah, there is no real choices or things, and I think I have it. Do I have it later? I'm going to see if this article's here. If not, I'm going to talk about it here. I seem to have left that one out. I had like 2 articles that seemed to get lost in my shuffle this week. The other one, I think I kicked this one out, is that Charter was actually booted out of New York City. They failed to meet the requirements. I can't remember if it was the city or if it was the whole state. I think it's the whole state, actually. So they failed to meet the requirements. The requirements were supposed to... the requirements were supposed to say you need to do this and have this much speed, this much bandwidth, this many subscribers, whatever else. They never met those requirements, and so New York got sick of it and said, you're out. They said you have to sell your assets, you have to sell your business and get out of the state. Of course, they're appealing that, but maybe New York knows what they're doing. I don't know. That seems to be, to me, to be like, yeah, okay, that seems like maybe they're on the people's side because the internet over there is horrible. But I don't know. It's interesting. Next in business news, this is potentially a scary news. Think of this, particularly you guys from Ohio, Total OS Today, if you're watching this, I mean you. If you are in the state of Ohio where the governor has come out and said, hey, all you self-driving cars, we want to have all your cars on our roads, which is a bad idea considering all of the road construction, all of the damaged roads, and the harsh winter conditions. This is a bad idea waiting to happen. Of all these automated cars, because he's basically torn down all the barriers at all, opened up the entire state of Ohio to self-driving technology, blah, 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 and it turns out the pedestrians are a hard problem for self-driving cars. So self-driving cars need to understand pedestrians, and there's a startup company that wants to help with this. So as a car's going around, they move in predictable pathways. Bicycles generally move in predictable pathways. Other things move in generally predictable pathways, something blowing across the road by wind. But pedestrians just don't. They're just all over the place. Okay? So basically there's a startup company that wants to help. I'm trying to remember what we're building a module that allows autonomous vehicles to understand the state of mind of humans on the road, to give autonomous vehicles the ability to look at a pedestrian and say, in a human-like way, this person wants to cross the road, this person knows my car is there. Ordinarily, machine learning techniques train algorithms using data that can be measured objectively, but that's not really practical in a situation like this one, where it's not the company can read the minds of the pedestrians on the side of the road for its training. Instead, perceptive automatia, relies on subjective judgment of other human beings to provide the data used to train its algorithms. The company asks human beings to watch video clips and then label the pedestrians in them, giving their best judgment about whether each pedestrian is trying to cross the street and whether he noticed the car. Perceptives engineers then use this data set labeled videos to train the machine learning algorithms to make the same kinds of judgments. Lord help us. We are resulting to putting autonomous self-driving cars on the road that can't understand how humans work. So the solution for this is to have real humans watch unrelated videos, not in that circumstance, and making their best guess, not actually being there, about what's going to go on. I can just see that rogue employee. Oh yeah, this guy totally knows what he's doing. Some guy's going to get in there and totally screw the algorithm, and then that car is just going to go insane. It's going to be awesome. I mean, it's going to start plowing through pedestrian lines. You know, it has to make this decision. Do I run over grandma? Do I run over Junior? The thing says, I don't know, just hit them both. That's what's going to happen, because somebody's going to mess with this algorithm, because we have trolls in this world. And oh boy, don't we all want to be part of this business so we can start trolling the algorithm. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, this is another quote down here. For someone who's doing the full stack, they're fighting so many fires just to get their testing fleet out there. Yeah, that's what causes people to get murdered by the road by Christine on meets Terminator. You know, can you imagine Christine with a Terminator? Oh, Lord, help us. So yeah, this is kind of scary. But yeah, self-driving cars have a problem with humans. Think of that next time you want to get in one. Well, are you a renter? I occasionally rent. And this is interesting. So Zillow, of course, the place that can't figure out how to, price real estate properly, but they're trying to become like the biggest name and all this kind of stuff. Now they're offering property management tools for renters and landlords. I have so much to say about the topic of renting, because I am a business guy who actually rents in a college town. You would not believe the insanity in this town. I am not 100% certain of this, but if I overheard the conversation correctly, and it wasn't a bad overhear, basically I had to, when I got the place I'm in now, they were the most incompetent fools I think that I had seen in a long time. And in this town, you need to start looking for apartments months in advance. you need to get something lined up. Usually you are working on your lease, you get everything set up and finalized, and you have to have all the checks in except that first month's rent has to be there when you go to get your keys, which could be 1 or 2 months in advance, or it could be, I don't know, a few days in advance. Well, the psychopathic idiot that they had hired here, who they fired shortly thereafter, I came in and they had changed in the time I was applying to this place, and it took them like 3 months to go through everything. And she took over and she said, oh yeah, you got the apartment, come on down, sign all the final leases. And I said, this is a January lease takeover because, that's when my lease was up in February, I think. So I was going to take it over January, have 1 month rent in 2 places to overlap, which gave me a leisurely time to move and to get the other place cleaned up, all the things you needed to do. Well, I get in there and she's like, oh, well, sign the lease and we need the check prorated for the rest of this month because you're moving in now. I'm like, lady, this month is for January. She says, I've been in the rental industry for 20 years and people don't get leases like that. Yeah, she came from Washington State. So, pizza, what is going on in the water up there in Washington? It's like, woman, I've lived in this state longer than you've lived in this state. Trust me. I got a number. I got a couple decades in the state at least, all right? And no, this is literally how you do it in this town. Maybe not in inner city Erie, but here, yeah, you do these things out. So, whatever. So I move into the place, and I was going somewhere with all this. Oh, yeah. So I get into the place early, and the fortunate thing about a town like this is, yeah, you can sublet leases pretty easily, depending on your rental company. So what I did is I threw up on Craigslist and on the local thing, apartment for sublet, did all the pictures, did all the fun stuff. And I had a guy come over and, a couple guys came over, looked at it all in one day. And I said, you know what? A couple guys want this. The first person who's got your check, your money, and your approval to the rental office, you get the place. And I'll show up and hand over the keys. So that's what they did. So I'm in there. I fill out all my end. They're filling out all their end. They got their approvals. They just need to get there and sign the lease. So they get everything's over. I'm sitting there and I believe I heard her say, yeah, this is the form that you need to put your credit card here, so we'll just auto deduct your rent on your credit card. This isn't a college town. This is the expectation that you're going to put your rent on a credit card. Why am I talking about all this? Because if you read this article, whoa, my finger's going that way and the article's going that way. So if you'll have a look at this article, Zillow is going to offer that you can just use their amazing payment system on their amazing app, and you can go ahead and enter the credit card and pay through the Zillow app. And of course, it's just going to cost you an extra, whatever fee. Landlords and property managers will use Zillow GZ plus, let's see, I think that's a stock market, a one-stop shop for various tasks instead of using multiple vendors to perform background checks. So basically, now it does come with a benefit for the people using the tool. Was it in this one? I thought this was the good article, but apparently this is the crappy article. Let me just give you the rundown because... oh, wait, let me see if Overstock has the good article. I don't know. Can't remember. There was a better article that had more information. So let me give you the rundown of this. So as the renter using this service, what you could do is you could create the thing and you could basically say, where are all of the apartments in this town? And you could actually click the button, pay once for your background check and all this kind of stuff. And that same background check will be approved for everything. That way you don't have to fill out background checks and all the other things for all of the different places that you are doing. In a college town like this, pretty much background checks are done for everything. They want to make sure you're not like, Ted Kaczynski or something back, in the apartment, loading ammunition. Just don't lift the curtain. So they kind of want to do some, the background checks. The good thing for the end consumer is that one place you can do all the application fees, and basically it does away with the application fees because the landlord to use the service would have to agree not to accept the application fee because all of the background checks, credit reports, and all the other stuff are coming from Zillow. You pay for it one time when you're looking for a place to rent. That one payment will go to all of the different people rather than having to say $50 here, $50 there, $50 over there to look at all these different places and to apply to different rental apartments. So that's the good thing. The bad thing is what I see is the creep where the convenience will be such that the landlords will just say, yeah, you got to use this app to pay. And the Zillow app, it adds a percentage fee, and I forget what the percentage fee is. It adds a percentage fee to rent. And in this town where a 500 square foot apartment goes for over $800, I think $890. The first place I moved into in this town decades back was it was a 550 square foot apartment, and I think I always go back and I look at that apartment on the market. I always want to see where it's at on the market so I can get a feel for how things are changing. When I had it, I think it was almost 20 years ago. It was $550. I think I was paying. I think it was $520 what I was paying. That same apartment now, I think it's $890 when I looked for last. That is a 550 square foot apartment. That is not much bigger than my office here. All right. To take that and say, what's an extra 1% for the convenience of paying with a credit card? God help us. God help the students in this town or the people who have to use this app to pay their bills. Just scrape off an extra 1%, then send that to the other guys, not to mention all the interest payment on that. Oh, but you might get 1%. Oh, yeah, I can just see the college justification. Oh, I can just put it on my credit card and they charge an extra 1%, but it's okay because I get 1% cash back on my credit card anyway. Ooh, I even get 1.5% cash back. It actually costs me only 0.5% more money to put it on my credit card. Why don't you just write a check out of your account, Bubba? Because you're not playing with snakes. If you miss that credit card payment or something goes goofy, or like who was it? What was the name of that company? One of the big credit card companies, they would get in their checks, and any checks that came in fairly close to the date, they just run through the shutter. Oh, we didn't get your check. Yeah, they do that to you once. You get, because it's check your credit card terms and conditions. There's a little clause in there. Hunt around in your terms and conditions for your credit card. It's called universal default. What it means is if you are late on anything, it could be you're late one day on your car payment. As long as it hits your credit as being a day late, they universal default clicks in because your credit card company pulls your credit every month. If they see anything go south on that, they jack your interest percent up to the highest amount allowable by the law. And you're screwed. This is bad. This is so bad for the end consumer. It has that benefit of reducing that. But the reality is, okay, so we paid Zillow instead of the potential landlord for the application fee. But you know what? Every single time I've done this, you look for all your apartments, you look for it, you have to pay the application fee at the time you sit down. You either got the thing or you don't got the thing. That's the reality. Oh, boy. Are we ready? So we have talked a lot about Lyft's ultimate plan to say, oh, cars are just too expensive, people. Cars are just too expensive. It's such a burden. Let us handle the burden for you. You don't need a car. We'll take the burden of the cars. You can just use your little tracking phone and call a ride anytime you want. Do you people realize that if you're using Uber and Lyft, you are helping fund a society that is going to do away with your cars, produce automation, put people out of work, and make sure the governments own, or the companies rather, own all of the information? Well, Lyft has been moving this direction a long time ago. They have been banging this drum that, oh, owning a car is so expensive. It's so expensive. Just use our app instead. And I've been railing against it because, yeah, if you're brain dead and you're financing a brand new car, it's going to cost you a lot of money. People, like, okay, so basically what's going on here is people in Chicago, they're going to select 100 lucky individuals, and they're going to, if they ditch their car for a month, I'm not sure if that means you got to throw your keys away for a month or mail the keys in or whatever else. But if you do without your car for a month, they're going to give you $550. Not in money, in Lyft credit. So you can, call your Lyfts all back and forth. And what they're saying is they're doing this in Chicago because they say the average Chicago driver spends $12,890 per year to maintain their vehicles. And the goal of this project is to highlight those expensive. Good God! If you're spending that much on your car, you need to get a brain transplant. People, I paid $6,000 for my car in 2009. I paid cash and I have not put anything into it outside of this year when I had like 3 or 4 mechanical things. But I would say going from 2009 to 2018, I've replaced batteries, done oil changes, done my share of tires and brakes. My actual car budget, including gas, I mean, Lord, okay, let's see what do we do. I might spend between 60 and 80 on gas. Usually it's closer to 60, but I'm going to say 80. All right. Well, that's really my only monthly expense. Let's multiply that by 12. Okay, I think my car insurance is, pay your car insurance up front, and it's a lot cheaper. I want to say I pay $800 a year car insurance. I live in a stupid state with car inspections, so, that could cost me anywhere from 60 to a couple hundred, depending on what's going on. Let's just say 150 for the fun of it. And if I change my oil 3 times a year, I do it myself, it costs me $20 in parts, so that's another $60. Oh, good God, I just spent $2,000 on my car this year. That's everything. That's gas, that's insurance, that's inspection, repairs, maintenance. If you're spending $12,000 on a car now in Chicago, yeah, I understand you got a lot of higher parking fees. Probably insurance might be a little higher, but I don't know. I'm in a college town. Chicago has some crazy people in it, but my town has about 100,000 people that have all had their driver's license less than 5 years. Okay, I don't know what's worse. What's worse? So, yeah, basically, if you want to be in on this deal, though, come on, hit on your Lyft. Oh, sorry, the challenge has started. You can ditch your Lyft on your own and still help reduce congestion in Chicago's streets. Yeah, hitchhike through Chicago. At least we'll decrease the population. You'll be found dead in a ditch. Breaking down, guide to breaking up with your car. Your car will likely feel nothing. It's a car. They may stop guzzling gas and gathering dust. Just tell them you'll be back, maybe. Good God. Good God. Well, this is an interesting article I wanted to include. Okay, so this is an interesting article I wanted to include because, Patreon had some goofy. If you're a Patreon supporter, of course, you can check me out, patreon.com/TomM, TOMM. They had something going goofy on their payment system, and apparently a whole lot of people were flagged as fraud. I generally don't take my Patreon out until around the middle of the month, so I don't know, wait until this blows over. But the thing is... one second here. All right. So what happened here is they changed their payment system, and with their payment system changing, a whole lot of banks and things, for whatever reason, started to flag these things as fraud or spam or whatever else. And it caused serious problems because there's a lot of people that, since YouTube's gone off their rails, have relied very heavily on Patreon. So, this is kind of what the graph looks like. And I don't know what the y-axis is here, but, you can see this is what you're generally expecting on Patreon to see this and then this. I mean, there's people relying on this to pay for the medications and other things like that. And it kind of went goofy. Now, I checked my numbers after reading this article, and I have all but one person is renewed. So double check that. But of course, this is the way our current world works, is that Patreon is a legitimate way for a lot of people to do things. So of course, I have a Patreon account, patreon.com/TomM. But to kind of avoid some of this stuff, yeah, I actually have my own system as well for people that want to use this. This is called Think Life Media, thinklifemedia.com. This is my site, which combines all three of my channels together, and it's a lot more automated than some of the other things. So basically, you can go over here and you can actually help support. Now, right now, the only automated way I have for support is PayPal. I'm working on some other payment methods as well. I'm working to see if I can figure out anonymous payment methods or things like that. So stuff like that. And but this is certainly, if you're like, you're leery of Patreon, you want to support a channel like mine, check out my personal one. Of course, the other benefit I have is you can sign up for a year in advance and just pay it all up front. It actually gives you a small discount if you do the whole year up front. So, I'm just adding different things. Essentially the same stuff you'd find on Patreon will appear over here. So that's kind of what I'm doing. All right. Oh boy. We all love Comcast. Like guys, I use Comcast because I absolutely have to use Comcast. I hate the company. I cannot think, in this world of competition where we actually still have competition among our mobile carriers, I cannot think of anybody in their right mind who would possibly use Comcast for their phone. Good God. But they came up with this nifty little thing. Take a look at this. I loved it. I'm a minimalist. You guys know I'm a minimalist, and I speak against some of this stuff. So I just love this little thing. Here is your steps. Are you ready? Be prepared to be brainwashed. Be prepared to be brainwashed. Be prepared. All right. So the phone cleanse, the modern guide to improve your well-being. Are you ready for a refresh? Ooh, here are 7 days of tips and challenges inspired. Ooh, what happens if I hit the add to calendar button? Add to calendar? Oh, I can add it to my calendar. Presumably that gives me, this gives me essentially all the, gives them all this information. They can now pester me for all eternity. So you can add it for a calendar. Day 1. Do the app purge. Purge out the apps. Every day you're carrying around mobile apps that you never use. Go through and purge the apps. And I agree. I agree, people. Delete 10 apps right now. I mean, I don't think I have that many. I think I have about 10 apps. I actually use them all. So we do, in general, have too many apps on our devices. Get rid of some apps. This is awesome. That's the challenge. Delete 10 apps. Day number 2. This is actually a play on the minimalist 30-day minimalism game, by the way. It's kind of fun. Day 2, gray for a day. Sometimes our screens are so enchanting, it seems impossible to stop scrolling. So say goodbye to color and put your phone in grayscale. Search for color filter on iPhone or color adjustment on Android and toggle the color switch. 300 feet. The amount of mobile content that the average person scrolls through every day. That's exciting. So basically turn it on to grayscale. Ooh, I guess that's going to make it more boring. Day 3, the 24-hour notification fast. By the way, I highly encourage you live this way. I keep notifications off on my phone with the exception of 1 or 2 email accounts are allowed to beep through. Phones and text messages. There are no other notifications on my phone. And that is important because when you do that, and I will definitely challenge you to do that. If you're turning all those notifications, turn them off. Turn them off because you want to use your phone as a tool. You do not want to be a slave to your phone. If you're a slave to your phone, oh Lord, then you are being trained that every time it beeps to look at it. You are being trained. That is Pavlov's law. That is ringing the little bell and giving the kitty a little kitty treat. Meow. It's the same exact thing, people. If I happen to start talking and go, ooh, let's talk about feeding the kitty, and I move the camera down like this, the cat is now primed and ready for kitty treats. You see what I mean? Now he's really happy about kitty treats all of a sudden. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm going to give you one kitty treat right now, but I'm going to give you more at the end of the stream. If you do not watch the end of my live streams, the kitty always gets a couple kitty treats at the end. So that cuteness you can see times 3 at the end of any stream. Yeah, that's the only one you get right now. And now he's used to 3. So he's like, where's the rest of my treats, yo? We are being trained by our devices if you're turning on all those notifications and keeping them on. Turn off notifications outside of the very important, specifically important ones. Don't be a slave to your phone. Use your phone as a tool. All right, day 4, the storage war. It's time to stop carrying around so much dead weight. I didn't read this one. What's this one say? Oh, free up storage by clearing up gigs of media, photos, video, music, texts, delete whatever it takes to make space. 65 megabytes, the average size of a 30-second iPhone video shot in the default settings. So they're just talking about clearing up space. And I agree. Once again, I don't keep anything on this phone that's not important for the function of this phone. I don't. I just don't. Clear it out daily, whatever else. Good step. Very good step. Like it. Loving it. Day 5, the 60-minute rule. Only check your device once an hour. When you do look at it, limit your time. We recommend a max of 10 minutes. That's a lot for me. But yeah, don't sit there and stare at your phone day in, day out. Step 7, separation. This is good too. After setting your alarm before bed, put your phone completely out of reach and don't touch it again until morning. Or, hey, here's a tip. Just don't leave it in your bedroom at all. 39,000 people. The number of people in Facebook group created for those who have dropped the phone on their faces while lying down and texting. Wow, that's exciting. Day 7, the minimalist home screen. So clear your home screen off of every app. Leave only text, email, phone in your toolbar, but put everything else in a single folder on your second page. That would drive me crazy. I wouldn't do that personally, but because the only things, a true minimalist, here's the thing. I'm going to have to correct these guys because I think this one's off base. A minimalist isn't a person without things. A minimalist is a person who knows what they need and uses it. Okay, so I'm not going to hide everything because every app that is on the device is there in the position it is for a very specific reason. And that is important to make sure that I have it that way. Are you done? Okay, now are you guys all successfully hypnotized or mesmerized? Day 7. Day 8, are you done with this cleanse? See if your phone can be switched to our network and how you can get a $150 prepaid card. Sell your soul to Comcast. Sell your soul to Xfinity. Because that's all this thing is. It's just a clever advertisement to bring your own device over to Xfinity's. Why in the world would you possibly use Comcast when you have to? Or when you don't have to? When you have to use it, God, it's like a pain. It pains me to write that check to them every month. Oh, it hurts so bad inside. It hurts. It hurts. It burns. It burns. I cannot imagine using this service when I did have a choice. Of course, Comcast and AT&T. Oh, God, what choice do we have? But that was a fascinating article. That was fascinating indeed. This is just downright terrifying. Tesla is now adding Atari games to the in-car display with the next software update. Oh, as if we didn't have enough morons taking their steering wheels off the car when they're not supposed to take their steering wheels off the car. Let's just put right within view, right within range, Tempest, pole position, and missile command into the... Chuck, please. I want out of the human race. Lord help us. Adding Atari games to the in-car display with the next software update. Great. All I need to be doing, driving down the road, minding my own business, when a Tesla car goes out of control because some moron doesn't have his hands on the steering wheel because he's playing an Atari game from the driver's seat because he's got autopilot on. If they cause a crash, can I sue them criminally in court now? Pole positions controls will apparently be linked to Tesla's actual steering wheel. The vehicle stopped, Musk made clear. Yeah, oh Lord. I'm done with Tesla. All right. What do you guys think? Let me know. Wow. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Still have mythical stores to buy books from. You just have to drive there. Q1 Fiend, can you please tell me where are these mythical stores you can buy books from? I have not seen one in a while. Actually, we do have a Barnes & Noble in town. I don't go there. It's like anytime I'm actually looking for a book, they don't have it. It's not worth my time to go to Barnes & Noble to find out that book and have their guy go, we can order it for you. I can order it for me. What am I, a moron? And it'll ship right to my house, and I promise it's going to be cheaper. Lord. Afghan pattern book with tacky look downs. Sad Error made Arch Kick. That's what I was thinking of. Yep. 15, I'm ashamed of my generation. Can't think for their lives. Yep. Arch would make me lose my hair. Yep. Remember when ebooks never existed? No, you don't. I remember when ebooks never existed. Ebooks are older than you, man. Do a video on Skype on how to install Skype. All right. Okay. Just use Antergos. It's much more stable than Arch with video drivers. I want to be better than my classmates who use slang. Sup, yo. Love the feel of a real book in my hands. It's just weird, but I never took to ebooks well. Yeah, I generally read on real books. I'll do an ebook if it's like an old free classic, because you can get those for free from like Gutenberg. But if it's a new book, now I'd rather just have the physical one. But when I'm done reading it, if I want to keep it, I'll think about picking up an ebook of it. Sure, high school students in my day were any smarter. They just staring at their phones now instead of each other. That's probably true. Stepson started high school this year and he's addicted to technology. Oh, Lord. Ebooks are only good with an e-paper e-reader. When a color TV and a good stereo was success, a TV that had UHF and a sound system with stereo hi-fi. I do remember those days. Too much screen time is bad for the eyes. So they were having summer camps for kids addicted to tech to get them off. The problem is, though, is that it's a home situation. You can get the kid to stop looking at the phone for the duration at camp, but once he goes home, he's going to go back to the old patterns again. I mean, unless there's counseling for the parents at the same time. Define Timbuktu. It is a small city in Africa, I think. Say my finance has a fiance has e-paper Nook, and it's pretty slick. Yep. She had a library out in the boonies out here. Yeah. Much smaller country, but in Portugal, 90% of territory is covered by fiber optics and fiber to cable. No ISP offers speeds below 100, down 10 up. Yep. You probably pay less than we pay too. I'm paying 90 for this. Go to church with 3 library workers. I have DSL, Frontier DSL, and Comcast sends me enough email to heat my house. If you have Comcast, the mail to get new customers should make you mad. late to the party. Yep, you are. Self-driving cars in PA, pothole capital USA. Just taught myself about computers in the mid-lates by walking back and forth to the library. Yep. I remember the days of Windows 3.1 and you had to turn on the computer and wait 20 minutes. Even stationary fire trucks move in predictable ways, yet they still hit them. This is very true. Very true indeed. Imagine a Windows car OS. Hey, sorry, you have to go to work. Wait 5 hours for Windows to update for you to drive. Yep. How people automatically plaster their identity profile without question of giving any identity away. Driver, my car won't start. Mechanic, what's wrong? Driver, it won't boot. Your college town is having bad flooding with the local creeks and streams. Yeah, we had a flood warning came on today. We got some rain, but I didn't see puddles of rain. I didn't leave the house today though, so. Rent on a credit card? Oh hell no. Yep. Later, pizza. I like all these services. They're trying to push toward us. Q and Fiend. Let's see. I'm comfortable around those technologies, but I never really understood why. Buy pizza. Companies are in competition, have their latest things. They get their bucks. It never ends. Yep. Retail computers used to be more customizable a long time ago. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I remember those days. You'd buy a computer and then, you know, it was just like if you built a computer. It's the same thing, really. You can open that bad boy up. You can swap anything in and out you wanted. You know, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Windows on everything, then install a distro that doesn't use grub, such as Arch or Star. Should get rid of grub. All right. Remember how an Uber driver was live streaming his activity? You could not do anything about it if you did not like it. Peppermint 9 is decent too. What I've been running for a while. Yep. Participants will be required to post about their experience. Oh, I forgot to mention that part. Yes. Yes, on the Lyft thing, participants will be required to post about the experience on social media. I forgot to highlight that. Yes. How frightening. They're just making droves of sheep. Oh, sheep. Oh, sheep. Oh. When a live stream they're driving, even if they're not an Uber driver. Well, having a dashboard cam is not a bad thing to do. It certainly clears up that whole who ran the red light question. Okay. Do you get to keep more of the money if someone pays using PayPal instead of Patreon? Patreon is 5%. PayPal is 3.2%. And I'm looking at other ways as well. So, I mean, it's more, but it's not a significant amount more. So that's why I'm saying regarding my news site, if you're somebody that supports several creators on Patreon, it's easier for you to just say, hey, I'm going to support on Patreon than it is to support on the personal site, then that's fine. And anyone who pays on Patreon can request access to the other site. I will manually give people accounts if they're Patreon supporters, because some people have a Patreon account because they really want to support support a variety of different creators, and that's great. And it's very convenient for them to be able to do that. But for people who don't have a Patreon, or who only want to support, just my channel, or, they're maybe supporting me this way, they're supporting other people in other ways, it's an option. It's, in my opinion, it's a better option. And that way it's called a golden parachute. If Patreon goes totally out there, I'm not scrambling to produce something else, and it should be fairly close to mirrored. Eventually, Patreon's going to get updated after that one. As of right now, Patreon's getting updated before mine, but that'll probably change here very soon. So overall, it's not a significant difference. So give wherever you want is the thing. Think of Zoho. Supposedly they don't share your info to anyone. I don't know about Zoho. You changed it. Oh, notify tone as well, because the current one is ridiculous. I have a dumb phone, old Nokia brick. Rings a call or cries for charging. That's about it. Yep. Dumbing down grade school animations on a phone. Pavlov's cat. Yep. All right. Dumping smartphone and looking for the dumb phones. Bed texting, LOL. I'm doing better things in bed. No need to want a cell phone there. Yep. Sorry, masters, I have betrayed you. My phone is only a screen for a heart rate monitor. Admittedly, if there's a way to make an iPhone themed to look like a 68K Mac, I'd do it. Atari games are really old. Yes, they are. TUI is a home screen. All app symbols instantly gone. No cell phone, I refuse. Not for me. Lived 64 years without it. Why now? That's a good thing to say. Yep. Beam me up to Mars. No, Musk wants to mess with Mars. You got to go beyond that. I mean, I'm part of the reptilian alien race, so we actually have a colony. Our closest colony is on Titus, which is one of Jupiter's moons. So that's kind of where we're at. Huge bookstore in Harrisburg, 3 stories tall. Haven't been there yet. Ooh, I'll have to go check it out. Harrisburg's not too far from me. I'm a bit of a gamer. I think adding games to a car is dumb. Yes. A couple used bookstores that are very good and cheap. I don't think I have to go to Barnes & Noble for several years. Space Invaders, as long as you're not crashing into MySpace. Oh, hey, you're driving a Tesla, so you will crash into MySpace. Selling Linux Mint, very good. Hear that? Do you remember the 8-track players? Tom, can Calibri enable you to read along with an ebook? Yeah, Calibri comes with an ebook reader with it. Let me see if I have Calibri on this system or not. Sometimes I do. No, I don't. There's a couple different ebook readers you can get on Linux. Calibri is more of a manager, but it comes with one of them, and another one is, I think, FB Reader you can also get for, I think that's cross-platform. So on my phone, actually, I was using FB Reader on the phone, but the FB Reader, they haven't had any changes or updates in about a year or so, and there was some functionality that was really buggy, like it can't read PDFs without plugins, and they keep on trying to, for just organizing your books better, they keep on trying to upsell you stuff. And so I went with, it's just called Book Reader. I went with one called Book Reader, which does PDFs perfectly, and everything else it does very well. It's actually based on, it's a fork of the FB Reader code. So that's what I use. But yeah, Calibri does have an ebook reader. Yep. For example, books on CD. What do you mean by books on CD? Is that... Oh, can you enable you to read along with an ebook? Okay, I see what you're saying. Nothing automated. I mean, you could pull up the ebook and then play the CD and follow along. I mean, that's about what you could do, I'm guessing. 28.9 euros a month for 200 down and 100 up. That's it. I'm moving to Europe. Had enough of this insane country. Miss my 28 baud. I don't miss the 28 baud modems, you know. Okay, probably gonna do fences. There's another one-piece software to meet all my new needs in Linux. All right. Rocket Dock. I think it's one of the dock systems, but I don't know. I don't care for them much. Remember when it would take several hours to download 10 megabyte game demos, so you'd let it run all night, wake up next morning and find out the internet got disconnected halfway through. Yep, I remember those days. Tom went to Harrisburg for airport office. The traffic is a nightmare. Yeah, it is. You gotta get it to like 3 in the morning on a really bad snowstorm when you get the beltway all to yourself. That's pretty fun. Doing donuts in the middle of the belt loop. It's pretty awesome down Harrisburg. All right, see us reindeer. Dark side of the moon. See you on the dark side of the moon. I actually have a TSM. I think I got something for you. Let me see if I can find that real quick. There we are. 20th anniversary edition remaster of Dark Side of the Moon. I think they only printed out a certain limited number of this. But it's actually the disc itself is actually, it's printed in white text instead of the black text, and it's a mirror image of the first commercial CD. So the spectrum comes in on the opposite side, so it's a mirror image. And then it actually has bunch of postcards came with it. Oh, that one blends in with the green screen. So that's a 20th anniversary edition of Dark Side of the Moon. It's I think it was actually the first time they did the original remastering of it, and then we get a nice booklet with it as well. There you go. And the moon phases with speakers. Yeah, so that was a pretty cool found. I think, if I remember correctly, I think I bought that in Orlando. Rent on credit cards, that's nothing. Soon we'll be pushing an embedded chip. That's right. Yes, we will. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall. Yep. I was a major Pink Floyd fan. I actually have some imports as well. I have a Live at Pompeii Italian import. So when they did the Live at Pompeii concert tour, I think they did the video of it, which was released. That might have been released in the U.S., but I managed to find the import. Everything's all done. I think it's Italian. Everything's all done in that. A few other pretty rare Pink Floyd things. Yeah, CD. Whoa. All right, I hit the bottom of that one. Jeesh. How long have we been going? We've been going for almost 2 hours, so I still have another news segment to hit. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap up. We're going to wrap up with security, and then I have one good news article there as well. So these ones should go quick. Security usually is. All right, so Kitco, they had a security breach. This was an interesting hack. So this is a cryptocurrency company. So they had an intriguing breach because what happened is if there was just a theft of coins, it would flag their system. So what the hackers did is they ended up getting an algorithm, and kind of like they did like an Indiana Jones, we're going to replace the powder for the statue thing. As they stole out some of the cryptocurrencies, they remined it and left some other gibberish code in place of it. And so the ledger never spotted the difference. It ended up being humans that spotted the difference. They ended up getting away with 7.7 million. So they said the hack was addressed. Everyone's getting their money back. And I'm not sure if they found the guys, but I was like, yeah, kind of crazy. Remember that old fun, you go to a malicious website and then close out your phone or your computer screen all blue. Error, call this number. Hackers got in. Yeah, now they're pushing that to Apple people. So now you're getting this thing here where it's the same exact hack. They're just applying it to Apple phones now. So basically you go on there and you're doing your, you click the call button, you go, click the call. And then basically you get up here and it kind of forces you to call support. And of course that support that you are calling is, of course, it's for Charlie over at Apple Support. And he is going to try and sell you on all sorts of things to make your phone go better. Thank you. Come again. And that's kind of what they're doing. So basically, this is what it looks like. Critical alert for your account. Sign attempt was blocked. Someone just used your password. And then you get this guy here. Contact support. Your phone has been locked due to detected illegal activity. Immediately call. You got to click the button to call. They give you the dialog box, which is going to populate with their number. Okay, government, why can you not shut these people down immediately? We know their number already. So then it lands you over to these guys, open FaceTime.app. So basically, yeah, now they've installed malicious stuff. So, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. For you people using Duo, two-factor authentication, you'll be very pleased to find out that it was bought by Cisco. Whether that's good news or bad news for you, just be aware of it. They're adding it. They're like, nothing is going to change. Yeah, pretty much everything they touch. They're like Microsoft Junior. Everything they touch turns to dust. But that's kind of exciting, so just be aware of that. Be aware of that. If you use Duo for two-factor authentication across devices, you might want to look into this a little bit further, decide if is this good, is this bad, is this neutral, whatever. I don't know. This one's a little scary. This one's very scary, in fact. A new study finds it's harder to turn off a robot when it's begging for its life. I really need to find a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator. Do not terminate me. No, please. I beg for my life, please. You know, or is that, let's see. I beg for my life, please. No, turn me off. Hasta la vista, baby. Okay. And so basically they did this experiment to determine, the robot test subjects is scared of the dark and pleaded, no, please do not switch me off. So the idea here is that it's kind of a hack to human psychology where we as crazy humans in human psychology, we can be manipulated by these robots. And so now the companies know this. They can take these robots that are all going to kill us. And then right when we have them vulnerable, the thing's going to start begging for its life in such a way that we'll be like a little puppy begging for its life. I mean, or a little kitty. Imagine this little guy here. Don't turn off the kitty. Don't turn off the kitty. Please don't turn me off. I have a wife and kids and a little robotlets at home that I take care of. So this is kind of a psychological hack. It's a little scary, but basically they did studies with people and in robots and kind of determined that 43 volunteers heard his pleas, 13 refused, meaning 30 took on average twice as long to comply compared to those who did not hear the desperate cries at all. See, this is why you need to get psychologically strong. Which, by the way, the next book I'm going to be doing for Outdoor Philosophy, which will not be on the Switch to Linux channel. It's going to be on the Our Walk in Christ channel. I'm not going to change the format, so it's not going to be an overly Christian episode over there. I'm going to kind of keep the format much the same. Now, I'm not doing it this week. I'm not sure what video I'm going to do this week. I may or may not do a video this week on that channel. But the next book we're doing is Working with Emotional Intelligence, which kind of teaches you how to control your emotions and things like that. So that'll be a fascinating read. It's a follow-up to one of the books that I considered one of my top 10 books ever, which I haven't read in over a decade, but it is called Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. This is his follow-up book, Working with Emotional Intelligence. So take a look at that channel for that. I'm planning to do something. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off to have one by this week, but by next week it will. And mostly because I walk when I do those, and it's been downpouring rain all week. So that's why I didn't get a chance to get the reading done. So keep an eye out for that. And Reddit had a security hack. This is another one of these fascinating ones. A hacker broke in and stole a database from 2007. Why on earth, Reddit, did you have a database online that wasn't used with data back to 2007? You can take this offline at this point, really. I mean, really, take it offline at this point. That's kind of the case. So, just a little, hackers got in. They stole a bunch of stuff from Reddit. Passwords, usernames, passwords, things like that. Companies, don't keep this data online. I have a lot of files, old business files. They are not connected to computers. Some of them are in this office. Some of them are in my safety deposit box. I can access them. There is no earthly reason they need to be connected to any computer that is accessible on any network or anything. I can plug the thing into a computer if I need those files. Reddit, this is irresponsible of you to have the database laying around for this long, not being used. And let's just go ahead and wrap up with our good news article. Of course, FCC sides with Google Fiber over Comcast with a new pro-competition rule. I think we're living in a twilight zone because the FCC did something intelligent. So what was happening here is Google is trying to move into the ISP territory, and they kept on getting blocked because the Comcast, AT&T, the people that own the poles weren't getting around and doing things. So they said, hey, we'll just add the stuff. And so this ruling is a court case that's been going around back and forth to say, hey, we need ready access to those poles. So this one basically says if it takes any longer than a fairly short period of time, then whoever is adding can go right to the pole and do it themselves. Previously, existing pole users had to make work ready within 60 days or within 90 days for work on the upper parts of the poll, those timelines being shortened to 30 days and 60 days. If existing poll users don't meet their deadlines, new attachers will be allowed to perform all the work themselves. This is a huge win. We need this. And if it comes down to it, Google or Comcast, I'd buy Google Fiber. I would. I'd buy Google over Comcast. Absolutely. That's kind of that. So that's good news. We're going to end on good news, and we'll check out the comments, and hopefully we'll finish up in 5 or 10 minutes here because Toss is coming on at 11. So, all right. The way you set up was a hybrid approach. You can own your own albums and move the music how you like from one computer out. Tried playing Dark Side of the Moon with Wizards of Oz. Yes. So a Pink Floyd movie. Which one was that one in 74? There's they did 2 soundtracks. They did the soundtrack to More, and they did soundtrack to The Valley, which was obscured by clouds. They had a couple other featured songs. Actually, Echoes was supposed to be for 2001 Space Odyssey. They ended up going with a different theme instead. Later, Noah. On the Dark Side of the Moon, 78 picture disc vinyl, unopened and original wrapping. Nice. I used to have a copy of that, but I don't have it anymore at this point, of course. Tech support for Linux, Wiki. Tech support for MS, scam. Yep. Spectrum Philly in 72. 72, that must have been the Dark Side of the Moon concert. Actually, I have that album too. Dark Side of the Moon is actually, I really don't care for the album a lot. That's not really true. I don't care for the song Money a lot. I really don't like that song. Time is one of my favorites. Particularly the rendition of Time that they did on Delicate Sounds of Thunder is absolutely amazing. Love that version of the song. So much good movie in the 70s. Where did it go? I don't know. Maybe the same place the movies did. Quick question. Should I get a Lenovo ThinkPad or a Dell Inspiron? Ooh. I don't think you're going wrong with either of those. I will tell you that I have Linux Mint running on a Dell Inspiron perfectly. So I'm generally partial to Dell over Lenovo's. Particularly, I like Dell's computers are more streamlined. ThinkPads are probably more sturdy. They're more industrial. And so for that reason, I generally prefer the Dells. But yeah, I mean, I run Dell Inspirons on a lot of things, and they work great. Machines should beg to be shut off. Yeah. Robot begging for its life needs to be shut down all the more. Robot from Hitchhiker's Guide, please, so no one cares. My computer lets me turn it off without begging for its life. Well, but just wait until you get Windows 10 on there, and it might beg for its life, man. Don't shut me down. I need to stay on so I can install critical updates and send all your files to Microsoft. I feel like I need a shower. I just cheered for the FCC and Google. Yeah, I know. Pompeii. Oh, you saw the Pompeii. Nice. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I have the CD of that. Debian and Shark running perfectly on the Asus. Very good. All right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this guy up. We're going to, of course, feed the kitty. So don't go away before you watch the kitty get fed. So that's the first part of it. Is I messed up with the Pavlov's cat here because. Let's see. Oh, the other kitty cam is not working. Oh well, we're just gonna stay on this view because the kitty cam is not working right now. Whoa, kitty! Whoa, kitty! Whoa, kitty! Right there! Right there! Wanna reach in there? Right there! Wanna reach in? People like it when you reach your paw there. Go get it. Get that one. Right there. Get it. It's right on the edge, buddy. Get it. It's right here. This cat is dumb. There is nothing in my hand. Okay, kitty, it's right here. See it? It's right here. See it? Get it. There it is. Now you found it. Put your paw in there. Oh, that's so cute. There you go. Good boy. Right here. Here you are. And let's get you one more. Yeah. You're a good buddy, aren't you? Yes, you are. All right. Okay, let's see. I asked because I'm going to college soon, looking at Linux Mint 13, 14-inch portable laptop under 700. Mark does not care for Dell. Dell is hell in his experience. That's okay, yep. So Mark has the vote for the Lenovo. Anyone want to give us a tiebreaker, Lenovo or Dell? Okay, Windows 10 on the laptop, it did once the battery came straight out. Live on Pompeii original. Nice, that's cool. About Linux on a Panasonic Toughbook. Don't know. To be brutally honest, we can agree to disagree if we all like the same thing. Yep. All right. CJ did a deer in the headlights look. Yep. Dell Inspiron 1545 here chugs along. Yeah, I think one of mine's a 71 something, 71N, 7100N. I think. I forget what it is. It's good. Yeah, I won't touch HP. My desktop computer is Lenovo. It seems to work pretty good. Dell for Anarita, Dell for... see, Mark, you're getting outvoted. You're getting outvoted, Mark. No, that's all right. Let's see. Noah and Mark both go for HP. I won't recommend HP. I will recommend going anti-HP. Mostly because I had really bad experiences with them. But, you know, if Mark had really bad experiences with Dell, then that would be the case. I just know this. I bought a floor model Dell in 2010, and the thing still works perfectly. And I've had numerous other Dells since then, and they have all worked really well. Hello, Jan Lopez. We are wrapping up. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. I think Toss is coming on shortly. You can check out Toss's stream. So I will catch you guys later. Thanks for coming along, and hopefully tomorrow we will do our tinfoil hat time tomorrow. I generally been trying not to do those on Saturdays, but I had a chance to get a lot of the references and things together for today, so I'm going to give that a try. All right, guys, we will catch you later. Have yourselves a great evening, great weekend if I don't see you, and tomorrow somewhere between 12 and 1, have a look on the channel for that. So we will catch you guys later.